Hello, friends. Welcome back to English Classes Online. My name is Benjamin. Today's video is on the use of tenses and how to pick the correct answers in your Waec English exams. This lesson is part of the West African Senior School Certificate Examination English Preparatory Lesson. If you are new to this channel, kindly subscribe to the channel by clicking on the subscribe button below. Click on the bell icon as well so that whenever a new video is uploaded on this channel, you will be notified instantly. Without much ado, let's dive into the lesson. Now, first, a quick look at the brief agenda: why, what, and how. Number one, why is tense important in English? Two, what is English tense all about? And three, how to use tenses correctly in English sentences. Now, why is the use of tenses important in English? This is quite obvious. It is because tenses enable us to talk about the time and the process of our actions and events. Tenses also help us to discuss the accurate state of things or the condition of the people or things we are talking about. Therefore, the correct use of tenses is very important. It's of central importance to the correct use of English sentences, both in speech and in writing. Now, what is tense in English? Tense is the form of the verb that indicates the time of an action or a state of being. So, getting to master the correct use of tenses is really very important. All right? Now, let's take a look at tenses. So, tenses at a glance. You can see here that we have four types of tenses across the various time frames, okay? So let's look at them. So here you have the simple tense, the continuous tense, the perfect tense, the perfect continuous. So when we talk about the simple present or the continuous present or present continuous, present perfect, or present perfect continuous. All right, so all these are applicable to the various other ones. We can talk of the past simple, we can talk of the past continuous, the past perfect, the past perfect continuous. And then again, we can talk about the simple future, the continuous future, the perfect future or the future perfect, or the future perfect continuous. So these are the various tenses, all right? And of course, we can always look at the various examples that we have here, all right? Various examples. Look at the simple present: go, continuous is going, perfect has gone, perfect continuous has been going. Then we have the past simple went, continuous was going, perfect had gone, perfect continuous had been going. The future simple will go, future continuous will be going, future perfect will have gone, and future perfect continuous will have been going. So what is missing here is been. All right, will have been going. All right, so these are the various tenses at a glance. Now you can also look for a video on the tenses in the description section below. You will find a video on English tenses that will give you a detailed explanation of the various English tenses and their uses. However, let's take a quick look at the various uses. When we look at the simple present, then we look at the uses. One of the uses is to report universal truths. You know, you can talk about scientific facts such as the sun rises in the east, the sun sets in the west, a cube of sugar dissolves in water, water boils at a given temperature. You use the simple present tense to talk about such universal truths. Then we have the instantaneous use, especially in sports commentary. You know, Okocha passes the ball to Kanu, who kicks it into the net. It is a goal. If you listen to sports commentary, because it is an instantaneous use, this means that the action is taking place at the time of reportage. And so the simple present tense is used in reporting. Now, you also have instructional demonstration. If you are teaching someone how to cook a dish, you can say, now I add the meat and let it cook for 10 minutes. I cut the meat into pieces. I wash this. I do this, I do that. So simple present tense. Now you can use the simple present tense also to express wishes. We wish you every success. I wish you this, I wish you that. All right. So expressing wishes. You can also express your sympathy. I send you my deepest sympathy. In applying for a job, you can use the simple present. I write to apply for the post of a sales manager in your company. You can name a child or name a sheep. I named this child John. I named this sheep Oriental Ark. All right. I named this child Christian. All right. Then you have the habitual use, an action that takes place habitually, such as Ada walks to school every day, Eze goes to school. You know, Jude always asks silly questions. You know, Obi talks too much, Julian talks too much. You know, I brush my teeth twice a day, you know, and so on and so forth, something that happens habitually. You can also use the simple present tense to refer to a future action, something that will happen in no distant time. The train leaves at 7 o'clock tomorrow. The meeting starts at 4 p.m. Tomorrow, or at 12 or at 2 o'clock today, you know, as the case may be. So let's look at other uses. Present continuous. The present continuous has the following uses. All right. You have the use of the present continuous in talking about temporary happenings. If I ask you, what are you doing right now? You can say, I am writing a letter. If I say, where is John? He is working in the garden. What is happening right now? The students are demonstrating. What is happening at the time of reportage? Then you can use the present continuous tense to talk about processes. They are repairing the road. The weather is changing. He is suffering from malaria or influenza, as the case may be. Then you have the habitual use, you know, something that happens often. Whenever I visit him, he's watching the movies. Don't call on them at 7:30. They are usually having dinner, something that they do all the time. Then you have the idiomatic use. Day by day, we are getting nearer to death. You know, we are running a race, you know. you can talk about something like honesty is the best policy. When you talk of adages or proverbs, you know, figurative use of language always makes use of the present, either the simple present or the present continuous. Now, future happenings. Dad is buying me a new coat for my graduation. He has not actually done it, but with the present continuous, you can talk about it. I hear you are traveling to London. Of course, the person has not traveled, but is likely to travel shortly. We are moving to our new house this weekend. We have not moved, but we are making a reference to an event that will take place shortly. All right. Now let's now look at the present perfect. We can look at past actions with present relevance. We've lived in Lagos since 1984. It is relevant to the present because we are still living in Lagos. We are living in Lagos right now, but we've lived in Lagos. The action started in the past, but it's still going on. Now, you've not shaved your hair for ages. Now, when we make a statement like this, it is likely that the addressee's hair is unkempt. I look at your hair and it is unkempt, and I say you've not shaved your hair for ages. We can use the present perfect tense to talk about unspecified time in the past. I have read that novel many times, you know. The time is not specified. There have been many bomb explosions in Nigeria. The time is not specified. Again, you can use the present perfect tense to talk about a change that has taken place over time. If you can say things have changed, you have grown since the last time I saw you. Another use of the present perfect is in reporting multiple actions at different times. For example, the committee has had 4 meetings this term. We have had 2 tests so far this term. Then habitual actions. The national news has been broadcast at 9 o'clock for as long as I can remember, something that has always happened regularly. Eze has always walked to school. That is a habitual action. Another use of the present perfect is in what we call resultative past, something that happened in the past, but we can see the result or the effect. We can still, the effect is still visible. For example, Rose has recovered from her illness. Now we can see she's now well again. That is the effect of the recovery. You know, she has recovered from her illness, so she's now well again. Or if I say someone has stolen my book, you know, the effect is that my book is now missing. So because I can't see it, so I presume someone has stolen my book. All right. Then in reporting accomplishments, for example, doctors have cured many deadly diseases, or Governor Fashola has transformed Lagos. You know, an achievement or an accomplishment can actually be reported using the present perfect tense. Then we look at the present perfect continuous. All right, the present perfect continuous. We use it for duration from the past until now, something that started in the past and is still continuing up till this moment. For example, he has been teaching at UNN for 3 years. You know, the teaching started 3 years ago, but it's still going on right now. Mr. and Mrs. Williams have been living in that house since their marriage. There's no evidence that they have moved out. They are still living there. We have been waiting here for over 3 hours. The waiting is still going on. Then we can use the present perfect continuous to talk about temporary situation continuing until now. They've been repairing the roads, which means they are still at work. Now, this is different from an action that took place in the past and was done and dusted. For example, if you say they repaired the roads, it means the job is finished. Now, if we say it has been raining, you know, it probably means that the rain is still continuing, but it started sometime in the past and is still continuing until now. I've been feeding the chickens means that I'm still doing so. All right. Then recently stopped activity, an activity that stopped recently, and we can still see the effect. All right. So though the activity has stopped, the effects are still apparent. For example, if you say it has been raining, you can add, look, the ground is wet. That is the evidence that it has actually been raining. The rain has stopped, but the evidence, the fact that the ground is wet shows us that it has been raining. She's been crying again. Now she has stopped crying, but her eyes are red, and we can, we can decipher the fact that she has been crying again. You've been fighting again, all right? Of course, at the time we are saying this, the fighting has stopped, but it is obvious from your black eye, the injury you have sustained from the fight is the evidence that you've been fighting again. Okay, so in reporting habitual actions, for example, he has been scoring plenty of goals this season. The Super Eagles have been losing their games lately. Junior has been doing well in his classwork this term. Now, these are all uses of the present perfect tense. All right? Well, that's the much we can take looking at the uses of the various tenses. Now you can check the description section. You will find a video on the English tenses, and that will give you a comprehensive explanation of the English tenses and their uses. Now let's now shift our focus to, applying the use of tenses to answering real Waec questions. And our focus here is on this. Obviously is a typo here, so let's correct this. It's not Waec. So this actually refers to WASSCE. All right, that's actually what this should be. So Waec is the examining body, but the exam itself is Wassce, West African Senior School Certificate Examination of June 2018, English Language Objective Test Questions. And our focus is on section 5. Now let's look at the instruction. From the words or groups of words lettered A to D, choose the word or group of words that best completes each of the following sentences. Question number 41, every one of the students dashed to be excited about the excursion. Now we have the use of tenses, and we also have the rule of concord. And when we look at the option here, option A is was. Every one of the students was to be excited. No, certainly. There's nothing here that shows that this is referring to a past action. So we are looking forward to finding a verb with the present, simple present. Then option B, seeming, is not correct. We cannot say every of the students seeming to be excited. It doesn't make sense. And B also, okay, so was seeming is incorrect. Is seeming is incorrect. Seem is also incorrect because everyone here is a singular subject and is a third person uh, indefinite pronoun. Of course, it takes the singular verb, which is seems. Everyone seems, all right? Every one of the students seems to be excited about the excursion. Question number 42, we should assist the poor, dash. This is question tag, and the rule is that when we have a positive statement, we should have a negative tag. If we have a negative statement, we should have a positive tag. And another rule is that when we use an auxiliary verb such as should, then another form of that auxiliary verb ought to be used in the tag as well. So let's look at the options. A, we should assist the poor. Okay, so let's look at the options. We should assist the poor. Shall we? No, this is not correct. Isn't it not correct? C, shouldn't we? That is correct. We should assist the poor. Shouldn't we? All right. Then D, we shouldn't, is not correct. So the right option is C. Question number 43. Either he or you dash to clean up the mess. Again, we have the rule of concord here. All right. So the correct tense is present because we are dealing with the present tense here. But then we have to look at the rule of concord. When you have a correlative, either or neither nor, the rule is that the subject that is nearer to the verb determines the verb to be used. Here we have you, which is nearer to the verb. This is what we call the rule or the law of proximity. Now, let's look at the option, the one that will actually fit in with you. You cannot say you has because you takes a plural verb. So option A is wrong. You have is correct. Either he or you have to clean up the mess. Where is incorrect and was is also incorrect. Question number 44. If Musa had woken up earlier, he dashed breakfast. Again, this has to do with the use of tenses. We have to understand that this is a past, and in sequence of tenses, a past tense in the main clause requires a past tense in the subordinate clause. So this is the subordinate clause. We already have a past participle. So we also need to have a past participle here. So if Musa had woken up earlier, he would not have missed breakfast. So option A is correct. B, ought not to miss, is wrong. Shall have missed is wrong. May have missed is wrong. Question number 45. He would rather appeal the decision dash defeat. Dash defeat. Now, again, we have to learn the rule of collocation. If you check the description section, you will find a video that explains the grammatical principle of collocation. So when you have rather, it always goes with than. He would rather appeal the decision than accept defeat. So D is correct, than accept defeat. Now, instead of accepting defeat is wrong, than accepting is wrong, than accepts is wrong. So question number 46, the student complained that he dashed the teacher. A was not hearing is wrong because the verb here is a verb that has to do with the sense of hearing, and it is not used in a progressive sense. Just as you cannot say, I am not seeing the board. You cannot say, I am not hearing you. No, such expressions are wrong. B, could not hear is actually correct. The student complained that he could not. Now, we have to use the past tense because already we have a past tense here. The student complained, which is past. So this also requires a past, and the past tense we have here is could not hear. All right? Could is the past tense of can. Then option C, does not hear, is not correct because what is required is past. Is not hearing is also not correct. So let us undo the various marks before we go to the next page, where we are going to look at, well, let me erase this. Here we are going to look at question number 47. My brother dashed in Lagos for the past 10 years. All right. A is living is not correct. My brother is living in Lagos for the past 10 years is not correct. My brother lived is not correct. My brother will have lived is not correct. My brother has been living is correct. So here, when we were looking at the uses of the tenses, we saw that the present continuous tense can be used to talk about an action that started in the past and is still going on right now. So my brother has been living in Lagos for the past 10 years. And there's nothing that suggests that he's no longer living in Lagos. So that is what makes has been living appropriate. Question number 48. I am totally disappointed dash such poor grades. Now here we are dealing with how a preposition collocates with adjectives. So here we can use a sense of intuition. Then we put in each of these prepositions to see how it fits in. Let's now try it. I am totally disappointed from such poor grades. Of course, this is wrong because you don't hear people talk about being disappointed from. Now, B, I am totally disappointed with. Yes, you can be disappointed with something or with someone. All right. Disappointed for is wrong. Disappointed on is non-existent. So the correct option is with. I am totally disappointed with such grades. Question number 49. He is a doctor, but he dabbles dash politics now and then. Dabbles in, well, not correct. Dabbles through, not correct. Dabbles on, not correct. Dabbles into. You dabble into something, all right? So that actually is correct. Now, question number 50, dash arrived before the manager. A, neither he nor I arrived before the manager. This is correct. How do we know? Because he and I are subjective pronouns. And the position we find here in this sentence is the subject position. How do we know? Well, let me show you. You can find in the description section elements of sentence discussed there. You know, what we call SVOCA. All right. So what we have here is the subject is here, the verb is here, and then the adjunct is here. So when we look at this, the subject should be here. And so me cannot be a subject. You cannot say me arrived before the manager. You can only say I arrived before the manager. All right, so that eliminates option B. Then option C, neither I nor him. You cannot say him arrived. You can only say he arrived. Neither me nor he. You cannot say me arrived. All right, so the correct option is A. Neither he nor I arrived before the manager. Question number 51. The evening was rounded dash with a dance. A, off. That's the actual, the correct option. All right. That's the correct option because you round off something when you bring it to an end, when you complete it. All right. Round up is not correct. You don't talk of rounding up an event. You talk of rounding off an event. You do not round out, you do not round down either. All right. So the correct option is round. We round, the evening was rounded off. A dance. 52. I dash have done the dishes, but haven't had the time. A, I will have done the dishes is not correct because the meaning we have in the sentence is an action that was completed in the past or was supposed to have been completed. So we cannot use will. We use will to report a future intention or a future action, but certainly not a completed one. So B, should is correct. I should have done the dishes, but haven't had the time. I might is not correct. I shall is not correct. Question number 53. I have heard all dash you said. All dash you said. Now, all what you said. What is not correct? All which you said is not correct. All that you said is correct. You hear the saying, all that glitters is not gold. So all collocates with that, all that, you know. So all is well that ends well, all right? So that collocates with all. Now, question number 54. Life in the city is dash challenging for the lazy. A, too much is not correct. You cannot say too much challenging. No, that is ungrammatical. So much challenging, no. Very much challenging, no. Much too challenging is correct. Is much too challenging for the lazy. Question number 55. It is always dash that get the blame. Well, option A, me. B, I. C, myself. D, mine. Well, there is a kind of controversy here. Over time, I has always been the correct use here, technically. You know, if you also read the scripture, you see that use of I when you say it is I. Of course, you know, this has been the use the appropriate use, you know, coming from Old English to Middle English. This has actually been the technically correct use. However, there is a recent trend, and most people increasingly are making use of me. All right, it is always me, although it still sounds technically uh, uh, incorrect to me. You know, it is always me. No, it is I. It is I. This is always technically correct. However, a lot of people will argue that me is the objective form. All right, the objective form. So actually, it is a kind of controversial issue right now between me and I. You know, technically, you see that I fits in there. It is always I that get the blame. All right, but today a lot of people believe that me is correct. It is me that gets the blame. Well, I leave it for future debate, all right? Now, number 56, he spends a dash deal of his time studying. A dash deal of his time studying. Well, a large deal is not common. You don't often hear people talking of a large deal. Option B is common. People talk of a great deal. So great collocates with deal, and that's the correct option. Well, you can say something is a big deal or is not a big deal, but it's not applicable when you are talking of a great deal of time. A huge deal is completely out of it. Now, question number 57, I guess he holds dash sensitive position in the company. Well, option A, some kind, is out of it because you cannot say, I guess he holds some kind sensitive position. No, it sounds, you know, ungrammatical. Something is missing, and what is missing is the preposition of, OF. B, many kind of. You cannot say, I guess he holds many kind of, because position is singular here. It's not plural. It's not positions. You can talk of many positions, but this is singular. So it cannot go with many. Then some kind of is correct. You can talk of, you know, I guess he holds some kind of sensitive position in the company. This is correct. The many kind is incorrect. Question 58, he always gives dash for coming late to school. A, one excuse or another is not correct. B, one excuse or the other. This is appropriate. C, some excuse or another, not correct. D, some excuse or the other, not correct. No, one excuse or the other is actually correct. Okay, let's undo the marks and then we go to the next page where we will be rounding off. All right. Now, question number 59, dash you turn down the volume of the radio I am trying to read. A, may you turn down the volume of the radio is not correct. B, will you turn down? Well, this is applicable. I will explain to you the possibilities. There are some possibilities. Now, if politeness is involved, then you can use would. Would you turn down the volume of the radio, please? You are being polite. But then if you are giving a definite instruction, you are issuing a directive, all right? Then you can use will. Will you turn down the volume of the radio? I am trying to read, you know, so you are not really being polite, but the appropriate auxiliary verb is will. Will you stop making a noise in class? Will you, you know, so that actually is appropriate in this context. Question number 60, I know it's a secret, so I dash tell anyone. I couldn't, cannot fit in because we are talking of a present tense here. Couldn't would have been appropriate probably if it was if we were reporting a past action. So but now is out of it. B, shan't is applicable because, you know, this refers to a future action. I shan't tell anyone, you know, I know it's a secret, so I shan't tell anyone. So that is appropriate. I needn't is not correct. It's not correct. I mightn't is not correct. Question number 61, at the last minute, amid the back dash of the plan. So we have to pick the preposition that collocates with back and also collocates with off. Can we say Aminu backed up off? No, it doesn't fit in. Or Aminu backed off is completely unacceptable. Aminu backed out is correct. All right, backed out of the plan. You can back out of the plan. Backed down of is really not appropriate. Question 62. He dash be very handsome, but I don't like him. All right. He shall is not appropriate because we're already describing someone's condition. It is not referring to an action in the future. Then he will is also not correct because will points to the future. But if the person is handsome, is a present reality. He might be very handsome. This is correct. He might be very handsome, but I don't like him. He can refers to possibility, which cannot collocate with handsome. We are not talking about ability. We are talking about a real situation. Now, question number 63. During her early days in school, she dashed study for hours. All right, she dashed study for hours. A, would is correct because we use would when we are reporting a past habit, a habitual action in the past. And this is appropriate. During her early days in school, she would study for hours. That was what happened habitually. So she would is appropriate. May is the present tense of might. So, and we are talking of during her early days in school, it is a past action. Can is the present tense of could and cannot be used for a past action. Shall is a future tense and of course is not appropriate for a past action. Question number 64. He dashed this morning in a dazzling white shirt. A, turned off. You can turn off the light, but definitely if you are talking about someone coming for something, turned off is not appropriate. Turned in, you can turn in some document or something, but certainly not your personal arrival at a place. Turned by is also incorrect. So D, turned out is correct. Someone can turn out for a meeting or for any other purpose. He turned out this morning in a dazzling white shirt. Question number 65. The police have dashed a warning to all residents of the area. A, put on, you can put on your clothes or your or your glasses, but certainly not a warning. Put in also is not correct. You can put something in something, but not uh, not a piece of information like the warning. C, put off is also, you can, when you put off a scheduled event, you postpone it or you delay it. So put out is appropriate. This also has a shade of meaning similar to broadcast. When you know, make something known to the public, you put it out. So question number 66. My parents taught me a lot of lessons. Most of dash are difficult to forget. Option A, which is actually correct because we are talking of lessons. If we are talking of human beings, we can use who or whom, but which refers to things, most of which are difficult to forget. Most of who is incorrect, most of whom is incorrect, most of what is incorrect, most of which is correct. Question number 67, Zani dashed on a banana peel and fell down. A slide is a present tense and cannot be used for a past event. Because here, Zani fell down, which means the what caused the falling down happened in the past. So we cannot use the present tense, which is slide. B, slid is the past tense of slide, so it's appropriate. Zani slid on a banana peel and fell down. Now, Zani had slid is not correct, was sliding is also not correct. Question number 68, I look forward to dash from you. Now, when we use the expression look forward to, then what should follow is a present continuous tense. I look forward to hearing. So B is appropriate. I look forward to hear from you is not grammatically correct. I look forward to be hearing from you is also incorrect. I look forward to have heard from you is incorrect. Question number 69. I have made remarkable progress dash learning French. Now we have to look for the preposition that collocates with progress. Do we say progress by? No. Progress at? No. Progress in? You progress in something. All right, so I have made remarkable progress in learning French. So option C is correct. You know, you do not progress for, you progress in. Then the last question here, question 70, the beans have not been properly dashed. A, well, this actually is a typo here. Option A is grind. So let's, all right, grind. Okay. So option A is grind, and it's not correct because we have the meaning here. It refers to an action that was supposed to have been completed. You know, so it's a past action or a completed action. Let's say past participle, something that has been completed. So certainly grind is not the right tense. It's the present, but it doesn't fit in there. Then option B is ground, and this is quite correct because ground is the past tense of grind and is also the past participle of grind. All right, grinding is out of it, and a lot of people might choose grounded, but that is out of ignorance of grammatical principles, because when you talk of grounded, you are probably talking about an aircraft being grounded somewhere, is stuck there, but certainly not the when we are talking of grinding beans. You know, the beans have not been properly ground. This is the past participle of grind. All right, so that actually is the correct option. Okay, so let's now undo our various marks. This is where we are going to draw the curtain in today's video. All right, we have actually been discussing, the use of tenses and how to pick the correct answers in Waec English exams. All right, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, do like the video and share it with your friends and relations. If you have not subscribed to the channel, the time has come for you to really hit the subscribe button and try to click on the bell icon as well, so that whenever we upload a new video on this channel, you will be notified instantly. I want to say a big thank you to all of you for being part of today's video. If you have any questions, any comments, or any suggestions, please leave them in the comment section below. Take time to really check the description section. You will find a number of related videos that will be of use to you in your quest to achieve proficiency in the use of English or to score high in your upcoming exams. So I want to say thank you once again. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye for now and remain blessed. Many thanks for watching today's video. A big thank you to all of you out there for being part of today's episode. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, kindly subscribe to this channel. Subscribe now as a way of giving us support. For notification about new videos, click on the bell icon. You will find the bell icon. Click on it so that whenever a new video is uploaded, you will be instantly notified. If you have actually enjoyed the video, like and share the video with your friends and relatives. This is very important. If you have any comments, leave your comments below. Any questions, any suggestions, we would gladly receive them and respond promptly and positively to them. See you in the next video. I look forward to always seeing you in the new video. Thank you.